Across the country, Brits are facing an ever-present and ever-evolving danger: scams. And because we all now do so much online, whether it's shopping from the sofa or banking on the bus, every one of us is at risk. We're constantly carrying around sensitive personal information right here in our pockets. But that also means that wherever we are, whatever we're doing, scammers are out to get us. I'm Alexis Conrad. In this series, I'm crisscrossing the UK to learn your stories. The cruel. How much did you pay?
4,400.
I just fell for it, hook, line and sinker, really.
The creepy.
They had my signature on this contract, and I was just really dumbfounded.
And the crazy.
The fake account trying to say that your account is fake.
Because I did the post saying that they were fake.
I'm going to teach you to better protect yourselves.
We need to know. Verify, verify, verify.
How to get your money back.
Very simple service here. It's 159 from any mobile phone.
And how other people are taking up the fight.
That's genius! I'm also going to dig a little deeper to try and explain how and why these scams work. Because whether they text you, email you, phone you, or post in your timeline, there are ways of spotting scammers for who they are.
This time, scammers who move beyond merely taking our money. Some want our most intimate personal data.
They basically copy your account.
It's actually freaky how much they can do.
Others carelessly break our hearts.
I was overwhelmingly in love with him. All I can think of is to save my lover.
But, as ever, there are ways to protect yourself.
You might have been chatting to this person for weeks, months even. And it's that one little step, but I suppose it just should be a red flag.
According to one fraud prevention agency, in the UK, more than 1,000 people have their identity stolen every day.
Identity theft. When scammers use a piece of your data to impersonate you, whether it's your date of birth, your name, your address, anything that they can open bank accounts with, get a loan out or a credit card, and of course, in the meantime, trashing your credit rating. Ultimately, what they're trying to do is pretend to be you in order to steal your money.
But increasingly, thieves are trying to use our identities to steal other people's money too. Tawana was the victim of a scam like this, which started with a message on social media. In November 2021, Tawana attended a conference hosted by a financial advisor named Emmanuel Asuko.
Well, I met Emmanuel on a Saturday, had a good dinner, had good conversations. I felt inspired. I was on the high. I think I want to take over the world kind of mindset. And then Sunday, I just got a text on my social media, and it literally stated, "Are you a part of the program? I hope you're joining." So I'm thinking, okay, I want to be on that program,
The messages appeared to be coming from Emmanuel's account and were offering the chance to invest her money under his guidance.
You're thinking you've met the person the day before and they've seen that you're interested in making your life a bit better, improving your financial status. And I just thought that he reached out because he was reaching out to others. You know what I mean? The person spoke as if they knew the market. They knew how the market worked. They kind of bigged themselves up a lot. They kind of made themselves out to be this expert financial advisor.
A scammer offering to make you money will almost always promise you can't lose, which is simply not true. You can lose money on even the safest of genuine investments. But because Tawana trusted Emmanuel, she put £150 into an online trading account. At first, it looked like she really couldn't lose. She was sent screenshots from a website showing phenomenal returns.
It just looks like any trading website. It's got the stocks and the stuff happening and everything there, like the money, the markets. You know, whenever you upload, the money will be there, so it shows that it's active. So when you see 500, then you see 3,000, then you see, kind of see your money growing in front of you. Because I'm thinking if my hundreds are turning into thousands, then I'm thinking my 1,000 could turn into a lot of thousands then. So that's when I got drawn in to do more. What they were doing along the way, they were kind of, the market's looking really good. They're basically saying it's a really good night tonight. The market loves you, doesn't it? You know, there's things to kind of egg you on, to make you feel like you got this extra luck, because everybody wants to know that they got good luck. Who doesn't want to know that?
Investment scammers will often tell you how brilliant you are and how rich you're going to be. Their aim, of course, is simple: get you to spend more and more. Before the day was out, Tawana had invested almost £1,500. And according to the trading website, in just one day, that had grown to almost £15,000. But if you've been watching this series so far, you'll probably know that website was a fake. The man calling himself Emmanuel didn't invest her money, he had simply stolen it.
Felt like someone just came and robbed my house. Weirdly enough, it just felt like someone just came in and just took something from my house without asking me. That's how it felt. Like, oh my God, how can I let this happen to me? Because I always tell people, like, be careful of getting scammed. No, it's a scam, it's too good to be true. No, you know, people have approached me and said, oh, come and join this thing. I said, no, like, they're just trying to get you to do this. I'm that person.
Tawana's troubles started with that direct message on Instagram. Now, she thought she was being contacted by the well-respected financial expert Emmanuel Asuko. Now, this is the account right here, and it has a lot of Emmanuel's pictures on it. It's got a lot of his posts and videos of him, give him some really excellent advice, and it definitely looks like Emmanuel. Only this is not Emmanuel Asuko. This is Emmanuel Asuko. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hey, Alexis.
Let's go and have a chat.
This is not the first time we've met. When I hosted the Jeremy Vine Extra Show in August 2022, Emmanuel was a regular guest, giving me, and no doubt some of you, some sound financial advice on things like the cost of living crisis.
Alexis, it's a scary time, and I want people to understand that borrowing money, it shouldn't be your first port of call.
Of course, Emmanuel, known to his fans as the E-Man, had nothing to do with scamming Tawana. In fact, he is the victim of a scam himself. Scammers are stealing Emmanuel's identity and reputation by creating dozens of fake accounts that look just like his.
Let's have a look. You've got some screenshots of the actual account here. They've got a health. Hang on, is this? Wait, I'm confused. Is this your account or is this the fake one?
The fake one.
Kind of. Yeah, it could be your account, isn't it? Because it's got the same sort of handle and it's got your name.
Yep, it's just got an E missing. And most people can't tell.
Oh, it's got an E missing.
But if you look quickly, you wouldn't see it. So it's meant to be the E-Man effect, but it's got the man effect.
That's clever, isn't it?
Look closely at the account name, known as the handle. The real Emmanuel is the E-Man Effect UK. This fake is just the Man Effect UK. It's so close, most people won't see the difference. There are endless variations on this. Remove letters, add letters, insert random punctuation. If one account gets blocked, the scammers just make a new one. But before anyone can scam Emmanuel's followers, they need to scam him.
But they've got 25,500 followers. Are they fake followers?
Sometimes it can be fake followers just to make them seem credible and so forth. But
How many do you actually have?
I've got 30,000.
Now, to be crystal clear, the real Emmanuel will never send anyone a direct message asking for money. In fact, it says so right here on his profile, which some of the scammers have copied, before sending direct messages asking for money. I guess it's all part of the master plan, convincing Emmanuel's followers that they really are him. But to create a truly convincing fake, they need to steal all his personal content.
From what it looks like on there, they just rip all your posts and videos and put it onto their account.
Yeah. And there's nothing I can do about it. I have pictures of my family, of kids and so forth on there, and then they're all on this person's page.
Including pictures of your kids and your family? Everything?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
They basically copy your account?
It is actually freaky how much they can do.
Once they've scammed Emmanuel, the thieves target his most recent followers because they're less likely to notice a fake.
This is the part that really gets to me. They have real conversations with people, and you can see the joy when people reply, "Oh, hi, I really like your content," or "I really like," and they really think they're talking to me.
You would never say, "Hey, I tell you what, give me $5,000, and in a couple of months I'll give you 10 back."
Yeah,
you know,
never.
That doesn't happen.
Never. But it sparks on two things. One is that a lot of people will be happy that maybe someone that they admire is following them, so they're caught up in that. And two, people's desperation, especially at a time like now where they want to try and improve their situation and they're desperate to do anything. And then all of a sudden, here's someone you trust that says, "Look, let me help you," and they're just swept away with it.
So now, do you find that you have to go that extra mile when the real you is contacting people out there to convince them that it's really you?
I have to go the extra mile. Sometimes I have to send voice notes just so that they can hear my voice and then know it's actually me.
That's actually quite a good idea. If you ever suspect someone isn't real, ask for something that can't easily be faked, like a voice note saying your name.
It takes a lot of my day, like almost every single day, is telling people that's not me. That's a fake account. I had one where I was actually saying, "Look, this is a fake account," and the fake account was saying, "No, I'm the fake account."
It's the fake account trying to say that your account is fake.
Because I did in the post saying that they were fake.
Social media platforms do cancel the fake Emmanuels quickly, but every few months, new ones surface.
How devastated were you when you found out that people who were following your advice, clients of yours, were being scammed and they thought they were actually being scammed by you?
Yeah, no, it was really heartbreaking to begin with, because I guess when I first spoke to her, I felt guilty, like I had done something wrong. Like this had been me who had made a mistake somehow and made this happen. I'm all about empowering my clients to be able to make better financial decisions for themselves and then be able to use that to pass that on to their family and close ones and so forth. And I've had my followers message me saying, "I hate following you because of all your fake accounts." But then innocent people like Tawana are suffering, and she's a hardworking, honest woman. Like when I spoke to her, she just wanted to try and do a bit better for her children and try and make her money work, because she's working hard, works in the NHS, working hard, but just wants to try and do a little bit more, and got caught out.
The fake Emmanuels are so convincing, even I was struggling to tell them apart. However, there are ways to do it if you know where to look. Throughout this series, I'll show you how to see scams coming in 3 simple steps.
Three things to remember with fake accounts. Number 1, look. Look at the account itself. Has all the content been posted on the same day? If it has, then you should be suspicious. Do the links work? Is the spelling correct on all the content? All those little details will matter. Number 2, search. Search for other accounts with the same name. Obviously, if there's a blue tick one, then you know that that might be the original source. If not, compare them. Compare how many followers they have. Compare the type of content that they have. You should be able to discern the real one from the fake one, but even so, proceed with caution. Finally, and most importantly, really? Ask yourself, really, is Kim Kardashian really reaching out to me in a private message asking me to invest in her new cosmetics line? Unlikely.
However, there is a new swindle that can be hard to spot because it comes from the account of someone you know. The problem is that account has been hijacked by scammers. We've been in touch with a woman in the US named Emma who fell for this scam, and she sent us a video.
Hi guys, I just got home from a long day of work, but Ashley just helped me invest $1,000 and got me back $8,500. It's guaranteed. I suggest doing it. It happened for me in under an hour, so yeah, thanks Ashley.
The real Emma did record that video, but every word of it is a lie. The scammers blackmailed her into making it.
Now, there's something off in that video, isn't there? Because that is not the attitude or the face of someone who's just made a whole load of money. Well, the reason behind that is because it's basically a hostage video. She's been forced to make that video because the scammers are promising that if she does make that video, they'll give her access to her account back.
The scammers want to tempt Emma's friends and followers to click a link for an investment scheme. However, that link allows them to hijack those accounts.
And you can see here that one of her friends is now also falling for the same scam because they've taken over her account as well.
Emma has found this whole affair quite traumatic and would rather not speak in public about it. But her mother, Nancy, has become an advocate on Emma's behalf.
This is something that happened to Emma, your daughter. How did you become involved?
Well, that's a good question. Emma's in her mid-20s. She's an archaeologist, a college graduate, and you wouldn't normally have your mom come in and try to, help you at that point. But the very scary thing for me was seeing that video because when I see the video, I see that she's just been crying, and I can tell that she's extremely stressed out.
When did Emma realize that her account was compromised? What happened?
It was like the link to click to take over her account. And they camouflaged it as some other kind of link coming from a friend. So they immediately were able to access her account and all of her old private and personal messages and start to use those against her.
Once they had control of her account, how did it progress?
Well, the first thing that they did was try to get her to send them nudes, which, interestingly, that was right where they went.
Thankfully, the demand for explicit photos was just a scare tactic. Knowing Emma would refuse, the scammers then asked her to make that video. Relieved they no longer wanted nudes, Emma agreed.
She lost, it was her original Instagram account from before she started college, and she was a college graduate now. And it was all of her memories for, all of those years. She had no longer had access to, never regained access to it. It was just deleted, so.
She did lose all that original content that she put out. That's all gone.
All gone. Forever.
Emma went through all of that stuff. Was there any chance, you think, for those scammers to have given Emma her account back?
Not a chance. No, they will never give you your account back.
Sadly, this is not just an extreme case from abroad. People in this country have suffered the same fate as Emma. Worse, if you ever record a video like this and someone who sees it sends money to a scammer, under UK law, you might end up in trouble.
Now, the lesson in all of this, if there is one, is that you should never, ever communicate with people who are blackmailing you for your social media accounts. Don't send them money, don't send them pictures, do not communicate at all. Contact the social media company, explain to them what happened, and let them deal with it.
Like so many of the cases we've encountered, we don't know who is behind these scams, but not every fraudster goes undetected. There are a small number of law enforcement units that try to catch scammers in the act. One of them is the National Trading Standards e-crime team, led by Mike Andrews.
Gosh. So what goes on in here then?
So this is our digital forensics unit, and what we do here is we examine all of the electronic devices that have been seized in an investigation. So when we go out and we execute warrants at properties, we get people arrested, we take off them their phones, their laptops, their iPads, any electronic devices that might contain data. It comes back here, and colleagues in the room then extract the data from those devices and analyse it for evidence.
I can imagine that nowadays, pretty much every case that involves any sort of fraud or crime even will involve at least one mobile phone.
Yes, we're dealing with ever-increasing volumes of devices, so just the sheer number of devices that we have to examine, but also the volume of data that's on them.
Down in the basement, Dave, one of the team's forensic experts, is giving me a demo on how to handle a scammer's phone. First, he has to make sure no one can remotely wipe the data.
So once a phone comes in here, you actually have to make sure that no messages reach that phone at all.
Correct.
Right. Talk me through it. You've got an example. Yeah?
That's right.
This clever box of tricks is a Faraday cage.
So we're going to shut the lid.
Shut the lid.
Some clips on.
It's surrounded by a fine wire mesh that stops any kind of signal from getting in or out.
It's a case of just trying to put the gloves on.
Oh gosh, that's...
So no signals can escape.
No signal. So even your gloves are sort of Faraday.
That's right, yeah, it's all contained within that same Faraday box.
They look very fashionable. They look
so at the moment, I'm going to turn it on just to see if it is passcode protected.
Okay.
And we would then interact with the home screen. So wearing these gloves is slightly tricky, and we can see...
You've got a passcode, six-digit passcode.
Six-digit passcode.
Okay.
In this case, the phone's owner has volunteered the passcode, so Dave unlocks it and puts it straight into flight safe mode.
Now that the airplane mode or flight mode is enabled, we can actually remove this from the Faraday box.
Right.
Now the phone's ability to send or receive data is turned off, Dave can safely examine the contents for evidence.
Okay. That looks very easy, but of course, the question I have to ask you now is a lot of phones will have a PIN code on them that you don't know.
That's correct.
So if the phone is locked, then what do you do? How many times have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Surprisingly, it does work. Surprisingly, you know, we're all creatures of habit, and people try and access the handsets as quick as possible.
Yeah.
We do find that certain people have simple patterns, such as all 4 zeros.
Right.
All the 8s.
Lucky 7s?
Yeah. I'll stop at that one.
Let's just say you've tried everything, all the sort of social engineering, but you've got nowhere. You've still got a phone that's locked with a 6-digit passcode. Yeah. What happens there?
So we do have forensic hardware and software available to us to potentially get a full file system extraction without even knowing the passcode to unlock the device.
A note to scammers then, you can refuse to give your passcode, but Dave still has ways of making your phone talk.
One of the common things that we're seeing in scams nowadays is the speed with which they happen. In a matter of hours, people can lose huge amounts of money. But there is one particularly vicious scam that entails stringing the victim along for weeks, months, sometimes even years. And at the end of the process, leaving them without any money and their personal life in tatters.
Maria from Scarborough lost thousands of pounds when all she was looking for was love.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It started during the pandemic when Maria encountered a man calling himself David on a popular online dating service.
He just said, "Hello, I'm David. I live in London and I'm a constructor engineer, and I'm looking for a girl." So the conversation starts, and then without knowing, we just chatted for nearly over 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
Your first time, so you're just chatting away.
Just chatting away. It's just nothing, like, it's just like I lost track of time because I was overwhelmingly attracted to him emotionally.
Even though you'd never met him?
Even I have never met him. Because he love bombed me. I've just Google searched the term love bomb.
Love bomb, okay.
The next day he suggested that it's better because in the website sometimes the communication, it delays the reply from the other side. So we suggested that it's better to move to WhatsApp.
We've seen this before in this series. By moving away from the dating app, David is cutting Maria off from their safety systems, so they can't protect her.
We communicated every day. He initiates the conversation, he initiates the communication. The moment I wake up, I have a message, good morning.
Right.
And then midday, how are you? What are you doing? Something like that. He always initiates. It's very, very consistent communication.
At what point do you not want to sort of meet up?
Yes.
And see him in real life? So what
That's
happened?
what the plan was. Second week, he said to me, I will want to meet you, but I have an appointment in Paris due to my job to attend a meeting for 3 days. And then instead of coming back to London, I'm going straight to meet up with you.
Great. And what happened?
Unfortunately, something happens. He told me that his bank account is empty, but it's not all black, Maria, because I have a paycheck that is due to be given to me. So he needs to go to South Africa to do a rock blasting job, to supervise.
Many romance scams revolve around this kind of story. Running out of money and a dangerous trip abroad, preventing real-life meetings. You can probably guess what happened next when David called Maria in a panic.
He was frantic.
Right.
He started off like, how much money have you got in your bank, Maria? He said, I'm sorry, Maria, but I am in trouble. There is an explosion at my work. A few people died and several others were injured. And I am accountable for what happened.
So what are your thoughts then? You get this message, he's asking you for money.
You know, at that time, I was full of love, full of love. The first thing in my head was, my God, my boyfriend is in trouble. I don't want him to be put into prison. I need to find ways to help him.
She borrowed £1,000 from friends and sent it straight to David. Then he asked for more.
Recalling back, I cannot even remember how many times, but I sent multiple times.
Multiple times.
And then he asked for even more.
And I said, David, I have borrowed a massive amount of money and send it to you, and I can't do every day to do this.
How much money did you send David in total?
My God, so I sent £6,600.
And where did that money come?
All this money borrowed from my friends. I was overwhelmingly in love with him. All I can think of is to save my lover. I want him back home. I want to see him in flesh. In fact, one of my messages to him is that if I could only fly to South Africa tomorrow, I will.
When were you convinced that this was a scam? What changed your mind?
It took me time. I went to Citizens Advice Bureau and they said to me, Maria, we will refer you to Action Fraud and telephone them and tell them everything what happened to you. And then, thankfully, Action Fraud came back to me and gave me the clarity of everything.
You must have been really conflicted.
I was conflicted because I'm still in love with him. The love is still there, despite all the odds, despite all the confusion, anger.
So how does it come to an end for you? Because it did come to an end.
Because he said he's coming back to London on a Monday in April. But he didn't come back.
Last question, what's happened to David?
I finally decided to block David. He attempted to ring me, saying to me that he wants to reinstate a relationship and he wants to see me, but I just said that that's enough, David. Goodbye.
Listening to romance scams is just so difficult, because if you weren't in the scam yourself, you can see all the red flags. But as Maria was saying, that when you're in it, when you're loved up, nothing matters and you miss all the warning signs. And that's why romance scams are so utterly devastating.
But it gets worse. Some scammers have managed to sink to a new low in order to exploit good people looking for love. Tech expert Ax Sharma, who is helping us out in this series, has an example.
Ax, you've got another scary story for me. What's this one?
About a scam that uses real pictures of abuse victims to get you to pay up.
Okay, that's firstly morally, ethically just appalling. Tell me about how it works.
So the way it works is like simple. Say you're using a dating app, it could be anything. So you'll meet someone, you'll start warming up to them, and they'll say that, look, I've been abused, I would like to meet you, but I need some verification that you're not a violent person.
So they're saying, let's meet for real.
Right.
But then the message sort of says here that they're apprehensive because they've been part of an abusive relationship.
Exactly.
And this is what happened to them. So where's the scam?
The scam part is this. They say, could you please verify that you're not a sex offender or you don't have any criminal record for this? And then obviously you'll ask, how can I do this?
The answer is you visit a website like this one, which, for a fee, claims to run a criminal background check on you.
Your safety is our priority. It's a nicely designed website, isn't it? It's all sort of, kind of... Okay, here we go. Advanced services. What we do. Silently summon help to your exact location at the tap of a button. Save details to your timeline, like who, when, and where you're meeting. This is a scam website.
Yeah, it's scam. It looks pretty convincing, but
It really looks very convincing. So, okay, so you pay...
Right there.
£99 for what?
Well, they claim to charge you £1 or 2 or 3, whatever it says. But if you read the fine print, many of these websites had a hidden subscription that they'll just keep billing you, say 40 quid a month or something, just for bogus support.
So this scam combines two techniques into one: the emotional blackmail of a romance scam with the data-stealing tricks of a dodgy online link. But though the design is slick, a closer look throws up some red flags.
Okay, so let's go a bit further down. Ooh, testimonials. Adrian and Samantha from California. They were happy.
So they say, if we took a closer look at testimonials and we reverse searched some of these images, and what we found was these led to a stock website. So these are just stock images. Fake.
But these people look so happy. And look, they say, thanks for this website. I almost can't walk after that. Lol. I don't know what they're talking about. They look very happy and they look as if they've enjoyed each other's company.
Okay, never mind the fake pictures. Would you trust a review like this on a website dedicated to online safety? No, neither would I. Further down still, the website directs users to the company's social media accounts, except if you click on them, the links go nowhere. That's another warning.
And it's not just one website. We saw a network of hundreds of domains involved in this scam that we traced to just 1 or 2 companies based in Cyprus.
These are all... Yeah. Oh my goodness. So all of these...
There are more, but these are the ones we could trace ourselves.
It's just so clever though, isn't it? Because you've got people who are emotionally attached already, they want to meet. I mean, that's the next step of a relationship. You might have been chatting to this person for weeks, months even. And it's that one little step, but I suppose it just should be a red flag. If someone's asking you to pay to verify the fact that you don't have a criminal record,
right,
you should be suspicious.
Exactly.
Earlier on, Mike Andrews, head of the National Trading Standards e-crime team, introduced me to his small but perfectly formed team of scam busters. But teams like his are barely making a dent in the problem. In the year to April 2022, there were an estimated 4.5 million fraud cases in England and Wales, but less than 0.1% of them ended in a conviction. I wanted to know what more Mike and people like him are doing about this.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think criminals are afraid of you. I really don't. I mean, let me put it this way. If I was scamming people online, I wouldn't be too worried that you guys were going to come anywhere near me.
Are we winning the battle? At the moment, I would say no. I'm sure it won't come as any great surprise to viewers of this programme that online fraud is a significant issue and it's going up year on year. And there are only a finite amount of resources across that whole law enforcement landscape that are dedicated to tackling the problem. So increasingly looking at getting content taken off social media platforms, having websites suspended, disrupting the payment services for those criminals will have an impact.
Mike, a lot of the scams that we've been looking at, and I'm sure a lot of the scams that you've been dealing with, have their origin somewhere in social media.
We do work closely with a number of social media platforms to highlight issues to them when we are made aware of them. But the challenge from the point of view of the platform is that they've got, some of these platforms will have millions and millions of users around the globe. So to root out all of the fraudulent and scam content is quite a challenge for those platforms,
Do you think they're doing enough, though?
Is a constant battle to stay on top of the scale of the problem, which is why we work in partnership with other agencies and the platforms to try and identify as much content as possible and get it taken down. But to the point, yes, there is more that the platforms could and should be doing, but where things do go wrong, trading standards can step in and carry out investigations, and they are criminal investigations. The team that I look after, we've prosecuted many, many people and can get people sent to prison for a very, very long time.
It's really interesting to see how much is being done to stop scammers however we can, but it seems to me that no matter how much trading standards and the other law enforcement agencies can do, the more centralized we can get these forces to work together, the more effective they can be. The sheer volume of things they have to deal with is huge, and perhaps if you centralize all the information, then you're going to have better luck. But impressed.
There are also things all of us can do to help agencies like Trading Standards. And here's one that takes less than 60 seconds.
Stop a scam in 60 seconds, very, very easy to do. How do we stop scams? Well, we just report them. If you feel that you've done something that you shouldn't have done and you're worried that you may have been scammed, if you think, oh no, I've just done something silly, you've sent money that you shouldn't have done something where you feel that your account's been compromised, you can act really quickly. Instead of faffing around in your bag and trying to find out which number you should call, very, very simple service here. It's 159. That's all you need to dial from any mobile phone provider. Once you call that number, what you're going to have is you're going to have a menu there. It's going to ask you which bank you want to be put through. And the moment you hit that number, they're going to put you straight through to the bank's fraud department, and you can tell them exactly what's happened. The quicker you act, the more chances you have of stopping that scam dead in its tracks.
But what of the people featured in tonight's show who weren't able to stop their scams? Maria, who was so badly treated by a romance scammer, is still out of pocket. Luckily, she has some good friends who are happy for her to pay back the money she borrowed in her own time. Emmanuel Asuko is still fighting the fake accounts that target his followers.
Technically speaking, Emmanuel has not lost any money, but he is losing a lot of valuable time that he is spending trying to shut down fake accounts pretending to be him. Now, Tawana did lose just under £1,500, which she did not get back.
However, across this series, it's not all been bad news. I've met some incredible people fighting the good fight, from ethical hackers
my phone, my app, my laptop, but my account's now opened up on your machine. That is crazy.
To journalists hunting the newest scams on the block.
It optimises the efficiency of your appliances.
That sounds like absolute nonsense.
We've also met plenty of ordinary people who happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. From Good Samaritans helping at food banks.
The church and the food bank money, that really hurt that I'd lost that.
To parents cheated out of much needed holidays.
We went up a little dusty track and we found the villa, and it was completely abandoned.
Many acted quickly and got their money back, but very few really got justice.
Over the course of making this series, two things have become very apparent. Firstly, the scale of fraud is just huge. Fraud now accounts for 40% of all reported crime. But secondly, for many of these scams, we don't really know what happened and who's behind it. So criminals are getting away scot-free. And it feels that we are woefully under-resourced in trying to find out the people responsible and bring them to justice. Now, just to give you an idea, out of the 140,000 police officers in England and Wales, only 900 are dedicated to fighting fraud. Now, that seems to me like a very, very small number of people to try and fight a huge